Uh, good morning, fellow diamond painters. DP Crazy Lady, of course. Um, it is about 9:05 a.m. It is the 11th of October, Friday, and I got to the house. I am not pleased with this at all, but I'm going to finish this thing. I will turn the light off and show you. Okay, you may think it looks pretty good, but it isn't. The camera, any camera, will take a beautiful picture of some of these diamond paintings. I don't think it shows every flaw or things. The drills are not straight. This is a square, of course, Autumn Skies by Dreamer Designs. I don't like it. I do not like it at all. And even with the light out over here in the trees, up close, I can see every gap. Every single gap. Now, you may not see it unless I bring the camera right down on top of it. To me, this is like a 5-footer. When you step back from it about 5 feet away, doesn't look too bad. But I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And up close like this, it just looks like a big old mess. You know, like a Monet. You know, far away it's beautiful. You walk up on top, it's just a big old mess. And that's what this one is. But like I said, I'm going to finish it. This one may take me longer because I'll work on it, and I may put it away again and grab one of the other ones that I put away, you know, and finish it. I got about halfway on the Thanksgiving gnomes. I haven't gotten back to them yet, but I will. Yesterday, I took my daughter in for her reschedule of the mammogram, and they did a mammogram again and an ultrasound. And even with the ultrasound, they said no, the only thing they saw was they said like a little teeny fluid pocket, and they said more than likely that's a cyst. And my daughter told them, yeah, they run in our family. Cysts all around. There's, probably can't see it. If you can see like a lump right in here, I have cysts. I've had numerous cysts removed from my body. My grandmother, before she passed away, she had them on her arms the size of golf balls. Seriously, large ones. My dad had 13 of them removed from his side all at once. There were a line of 13 of them, and he had them removed. So they run in our family. I don't know why or whatever. I mean, I think they run more on my dad's side because my mother doesn't have any, and none of my other sisters and stuff. So, they're my half sisters, but it has to be on my dad's side. So, yeah. But she spent an hour and a half in there. I waited outside because I didn't really want to sit inside, you know, the hospital and pain in the butt. And let's see, I talked to my mother the other day. She's been sick. And I keep telling her, go to the emergency room or call your doctor or whatever it is. Because I had ordered her some COVID tests. And I know she got hers one day last week because I got mine. And I told her, I said, you've been sick. I said, why didn't you take, the COVID test? I know you got it. And she goes, yeah, I know. But she was at the point where it's in her chest again. She was supposed to have her flu shot one day last week, but she ended up sick, so they won't give her the flu shot, of course, while she's sick. And and I know she's had bronchitis before, but she said every time she would get the flu shot, she never would get the bronchitis. Well, she got it this time, and I know what it came from. My sister came up from Tennessee with, her little grandchildren and all the other kids and everything else. And down there, they don't pay attention to, at least my sister doesn't pay attention. If they had to have brought something up. Kids in school or kids, you're going to get it. So my mom ends up sick, and I told her, I said, you better get your butt to the hospital or to a doctor, because it could be walking pneumonia. It can turn into pneumonia. And at her age, at 90 years old, she don't need to be, flirting with that. And my stepfather, 102, now he's not sick, but that doesn't mean he won't get sick. So my mother better get on the ball. Because while I was talking to her yesterday, she'd get into fits of coughing, and you could hear it, the coughing, I mean, it was more wet, rather than just a dry cough. And I kept telling her she better go. She said something about she had an appointment the next day for something with the doctor, so I hope she went. And then the day before I took my daughter in for her update mammogram and stuff, I had to have air in my tires because my little light comes on and said, it goes correct air tire pressure, and it has a question mark, Well, I know every spring and every fall, when the weather warms up or the weather gets really, really cold, the tire pressure changes on my tires. I don't have a garage, so my car parks outside. So anyway, I went down to Flynn's, which is where I go for tires and stuff, and they do other work too. And I got air in my tires, and then I talked to them about the repair that I need on my steering. And he said, yeah, they can do the work if they, can get the parts and so on and so forth. He said that, I asked him, I said, well, what's it going to run me as far as at least just bringing it in and having you guys check it over and tell me what the issue is, which I probably know what it is anyway. Being that there's no power steering pump and stuff, I know it's, that particular part. So he said, well, to bring it in and us to inspect it and check it out, it's $29.99. I say $30, okay? If they can't find the issue that way and they need to run a diagnostic, that is $100. They say $99. I don't know why they just don't say $100, because to me, somebody that says $95 for something, hey, don't sugarcoat it. That's $100. Because of what am I going to buy with the other $5, Because that price plus tax, you might as well say it's $100. So don't, I think people are impressed by if they say, oh, it's only $2.99. Oh, wow, that's cheap. No, it's $3. Then you get, whatever. But anyway, and I said, the only issue I have with bringing it in and you guys running a diagnostic on it is if you run the diagnostic, I got to pay you that $100. And then if you can't do the repair because it's not in your wheelhouse, I said, then I'm going to have to take that car all the way up to the other side of Cleveland, which is, 60 miles away, and pay them to run another diagnostic, check it and everything. So I'm paying twice. He goes, look, he said, if you bring the car in here and we run the diagnostic and we can't fix it or we can't do it, he said, I'll do right by you. So I don't know if that means they'll only charge me half that or not charge me at all. I don't know. But I have an appointment to take it in on the 4th of November because I told myself I'm not going to have any kind of money at all until then anyhow. So at least I'll get it inspected and see if they can fix it, because see, I planned on, if something like this hadn't happened, what I'd already planned on was having the brakes checked just to make sure my brakes are okay for the winter, and have my oil changed again, because I haven't had it changed in 3 years, but I just now finally hit 30,000 miles, so I need them to check to see if it needs to be changed again. So now those two things basically have to wait because this is more important. So that's what I gotta have done. So then we gotta take Liam in Monday. I'm gonna take him in Monday and get his nails cut and his, flea meds and heartworm meds, the every month thingy, and that's gotta do that once a month. Plus we get the extra flea med for Angel, the kitty, because I don't need her getting fleas that he drags in, even with the flea meds, and then that could give her worms and stuff. So we don't need that. So anyhow, I think today for supper I'm going to make my spaghetti squash, and I've got some leftover shredded rotisserie chicken that I bought at Aldi's. I have a little bit of it left, and I think I'm going to make it in with a spaghetti sauce. Instead of putting hamburger in, I'm going to throw the chicken in, make my own spaghetti sauce, and then that's what I'll put on the spaghetti squash. And we'll have that with a salad for dinner. Don't know what I'm going to have for lunch. I had this morning, instead of having my cottage cheese and tomatoes, I had cottage cheese with 3 or 4 cut up grapes. I wanted that instead. So that's what I had, and not sure if I want to eat lunch or not because I'm pretty much full. I got up at 7 o'clock this morning, which is pretty good because at least the pup let me sleep. So I think, I don't even remember what time I went to sleep. It was probably around 12. I know, it's late, but I had catnapped earlier in the day, so I figured I probably wasn't as tired. And what I started watching now is Law and Order from the very beginning, from the 90s, in the 90s. So I'm going to watch all the episodes, and I'll listen to them, and while I'm diamond painting. I have to vacuum in the living room today, move stuff. I know I was supposed to before, and it didn't get done. Do that, and I don't think, I'm hoping I'm not going to have any company today. I don't know. My mom said when I was talking to her that my sister that came up from Tennessee is like going crazy over all the diamond painting I've been doing. And she saw the one I did for my stepdad, for him, you know, being a veteran. And she loves the one I did for her, and she thinks I do such beautiful work. And I keep telling my mom, I said, it's not like I invented these or that I created them. You know, all I'm doing is just, you know, like paint by number, basically, is what it is. And but she just, you know, and she still wants me to instruct her and my little niece, which is about 4 or 5 years old, maybe 5 years old, or she might be 6 now. I don't know. I don't pay attention because since they live down there, I don't see them often enough to discuss birthdays and things like that. But anyhow, you know, she's homeschooling her. So, you know, she says, oh, you know, this is a project, you know, that we could do and blah, blah, blah. I did a private video for her 6 months ago. I forget how long, how much time I spent on it, but I showed step by step how to diamond paint. The last time she was up here, I think back in June or something, I gave her even another tray, not one of these, but I gave her a bigger tray because she'd already had some. Another pen. I gave her the wax. I even had given her a couple kits, you know, and showed her how to do them and everything. And then she's swearing, you know, she wants me to show her how to do them and, you know, sit down like a project, you know, with her. And well, see, it's her granddaughter, but she adopted that one. And my niece had 2 more after that, so we won't go there. But anyhow, so, you know, showing her on video would end up being the same. And I don't know how I can even, I'm not a teacher. I don't know how I could show her diamond painting other than what I showed her on camera. And I did it very slowly. I explained it. I had the camera close. I showed her how you pick them up, how you put the wax in, because she has wax. You know, how to do, I mean, I don't know how much more explanatory or explaining or whatever it is, you know, to do this. It's not that hard. I mean, heck, my mother was, you know, I showed my mother 3 years ago or 2 years ago, and my mother's, 2 years ago, and I showed my mother, and she knew how to do it. She did, you know, to 1 or 2 so far. She hasn't done that many, but, you know, she's done it. And if my mother can do it, then, heck, my sister is going to be 60. You know, I know darn well she can do it. It's like, I don't know. I don't get it. But, and then my nephew, he came, he's still in the military. I think he's making it a career. He does medical in the military. I don't know. He does some sports meds too and stuff because he did a lot of baseball and everything in his time. And he was in Japan for a while, and then they shipped him over to Germany. Well, he came from Germany for my stepdad's 102nd birthday. And he's staying there until the 19th of this month. And I'm glad when he's there because then he makes sure my stepdad doesn't get outside and do some things he shouldn't be doing. And my nephew will go out there and, you know, cut the grass and, you know, close up the shed for winter and do all this other stuff. He gets it all together for him before, you know, my stepdad tries to trek out there and do it, which we keep telling him, stop doing that, but you can't stop him. he said, like he told me on the phone the other day, he said, well, he said, I think I'm getting a hint. And I said, why? And he said, well, he said, my mind tells me, hey, you go out there and you do this and you do that. And he said, as soon as I try it, he said, my body said, are you kidding? So he says, I think I'm starting to get the hint. So, hopefully he, because I told him, I said, that's all you need to do is fall one time real good and lay you up for a long time. I said, you need to stop doing that stuff. And but he don't listen, because I know he'll be back at it. Like I told him, the leaves are falling, leave the leaves on the ground. And, between him and my mom, they're out there. He said, well, I ride my tractor. I just get on the tractor and it sucks them up. I said, yeah. I said, but then there's mom out there, 90 years old, with the blower. And she's, blowing stuff all over the place and walking around. I said she could trip. I mean, I said, you guys are crazy. So at least with my nephew up there, he'll keep tabs, on stuff. And I'm still waiting to hear back from my brother. I think I told you, he said he bought a car. Probably a crappy one, I don't know. But when I talked to him at the beginning of the week, he said that, he had gotten a car and he was going to be picking it up in a couple of days or the next day or something like that. I haven't heard anything, because I figured if he had got the car, I'd have heard from him, because he'd have driven over here. So I don't know what's going on. And it's Friday, so I should be getting a call from him, because he calls every Friday. So I don't know. And my mom's upset that he bought, a 14-year-old car, which is dumb on his part, because, how long is that car going to last? He did that when he bought the other piece of crap he had. And after 2 years, it was so rusted out that he only had brakes, like on the front or something. The car was so bad. And that's why I gave him the Chevy I had, and then he destroyed that. But anyway, because my mom said, why didn't he wait? He's waited this long. He could have waited one more month, and my stepdad would have went with him, driven him or whatever around, and looked for a better car, because my stepdad knows all that stuff. He knows guys, at car lots, and he can get deals and stuff like that. And or they might have known someone in the area, a private person that was selling their car, and it was in good condition and lower mileage and well maintained up there in PA. That he could have had himself a better car. But Mom said no, he didn't want to wait. She said, but that's him, that's what he does. I said, yeah. I said, and then he's gonna complain when he's got to fork over money to have it fixed, and he ain't got the money. So I don't know. We'll see what we see. So yeah, that's family drama. Let's see, anything else other than I took my ballot in yesterday, dropped it in the one box we have. My daughter and I we dropped them off yesterday on our way to her to get her ultrasound and stuff. And they've been fixing up the roads around here. That area down there with that new fancy clover leaf garbage crap that they're trying to build. For a year and a half now, I've had to go completely away from and then back all the way around to my doctor's and also it's costing me a fortune in gas. It really is. And I mean, I don't know why they even removed a house that was on the registry, the historical registry. In order to do this, they had to uproot that house, and the historical society had to get another piece of land or to move that house on. They had to uproot it from the property it was sitting on. That's disgusting. That's the one thing I noticed about the United States that really ticks me off. Is you go to Europe, you go, Rome, Italy, France, all these other places, and it would be like, okay, let's tear down the Colosseum and put a parking lot there. No, that's what they do here, though. They tear down our historical thing. I mean, where's our history? Other than in a book that a lot of people don't read. And if you go in the museum, you may see some artifacts or see pictures. But where's all our buildings? Yeah, they keep some of the courthouses, things like that. But everything else is gone. It's like, oh. It's just like, that song, Paved Paradise, put up a parking lot. But, sure, why not? So, it just kind of irritates me that, they had to remove that house from where it'd been sitting for how many hundred of years or whatever, and remove it, and, it's, I don't know. But I'm getting tired. They're working on the roads. Ohio's yearly flower is the orange cones, so you'll see those all over the place. That should be our state flower, orange cones. So I guess I've talked enough and annoyed you enough, possibly, but this is annoying in itself. So, y'all may like it. I don't. I find it neat. I mean, it is crooked. It is so crooked. And every time I try and straighten it, doesn't help. Now, the Spangler that I was working on from Diamond Art, which I have to get it back out, that's the one, something about reading a good book or whatever, I forget what it is. That one looks good. They're straight, they're uniform, the drills are uniform. I'm hoping the other one or two Dreamers that I have are not like this one. Because I bought that one, I wanted it because it was by Bridget Both. That did the Moonlight, that Craftably had done with that Moonlight. That's why I can't think of it off the top of my head. But anyhow, the one with the house and the cat on the wall. But I bought and that was by Bridget Both. I bought another Bridget Both, that one that's Halloween with the animals dressed up for Halloween, but it's a Dreamer design, but it is Bridget Both. Now, I'm hoping it doesn't turn out like this. If it does, then it's Dreamer Designs lousy drills, because they don't fit. They seem to be off shape or something. I don't know what it is. They're a pain in the butt. They're just a pain in the butt. I don't like them. So, and I've done other squares of budget friendlies that were better than this. So, anyhow, I'm going to get off here. It's almost 30 minutes. Like I said, I hope I haven't annoyed y'all. I just wanted to at least do a video now because I don't know what I'm going to be doing over the weekend. If I happen to get company, if I get company, then I may do something like late at night and show you the progress, but I think this is about as far as I'm going to progress for now, because I'm just irritated. I think once I finish this area here, I'm going to put this aside again, and I'm going to pull out my Thanksgiving gnomes and get those finished, and see what other items that I didn't have finished, and pull them out. I'll check my tiger from the embers and see how it looks, because I believe that's a dreamer too. And I didn't like the way the paws looked. The one paw, it looked really, the color didn't even match. So we'll see. So y'all, hope you have a good weekend. Hope everybody is safe from the storms. I pray for all them tornadoes it caused. Thank goodness. The only saving grace is it started as a Cat 5 and came in as a Cat 3. But that's still on top, coming right on top of another hurricane. That's awful. And if the ones who are down there have, and I don't know if I have any viewers that live in Florida, which I doubt, I don't know. They're not watching this anyway because they don't have electricity or whatever. But I pray for all of them, everybody, throughout the whole United States, for any bad weather, anything that's going on. Okay, so y'all have a good weekend, and I will get back with you in the next day or two. So don't worry if I'm not back right away. But I'll be here. So, hugs to you all. I love you. TP Crazy Lady. Diamond painting. You diamond paint. Love ya. Bye-bye.